Namaste. Namaste. Today we'd like to discuss Sri Aurobindo's book, Rebirth and Karma, which is uh, an extremely interesting and actually a very important book to consider and reflect on. Um, we all have the occasion to question from time to time, why do the good suffer? Why do the evil people get away with their deeds? Why do they prosper? And there are many, many different questions, many, many different answers to this. Sri Aurobindo systematically goes through all of the different major lines of understanding relating to uh, the question of karma. And he shows that there is a complex interaction of forces, uh, not just what we individually have as our past antecedents that bring us to today and help us move to tomorrow, but also the interaction that we have with others and with the environment and with the society, all of which together create the actual karmic activity that occurs. But he goes further. The karmic activity is not solely for individual reward or punishment. Actually, it is part of a larger process, what you may call the process of the evolution of consciousness through the activity of rebirth. It's very clear that the short human lifetime that we experience is uh, not sufficient time to actually achieve uh, total spiritual realization. Most people struggle with dealing with basic physical needs and desires and relationships. Some go into various fields of mental development, uh, but they leave their lives at a point that is essentially unfinished. And the question then arises, well, what is it all about? Why do we need to have uh, such a life? And what purpose, what significance does it have? We see the evolution of forms, which Darwin pointed out, follow a consistent pattern. There is uh, consistency within each species, and then there is a process of interaction of various genetic uh, qualifiers that creates the next being in the line, whatever it is. Then there is the issue of mutation, where mutation actually brings about what Darwin called the survival of the fittest. But all of this is mechanical and physical. And the question then arises, what is this for? And we see through time in the world an increasing level of consciousness that is emerging from the raw physical, the stones and the material roots of the planet that have very little active awareness and very low and dense vibrational patterns. We then see evolving out of this the life energy. And we see a multitude of forms of increasing complexity and increasing sophistication. And eventually we see the evolution of the mind, mental forces, and we see the emergence of humanity as the incipient mental being, so to speak, with the ability of logic and reason and self-reflection. And all of these developments show a trend of increasing subtlety and increasing sophistication, and increasing power of consciousness. And the question then arises, if this is purely a collective effort, then there's no need of rebirth. The individual is wasted, useless, lives its life, does what it does, it influences to whatever degree possible the future, and then that's that. But if there is a meaning to the individual birth, which we all intuit, then there must be a mechanism available for the individual development to occur from lifetime to lifetime and to continue to evolve. And that is the meaning of rebirth. It's a somewhat complex subject. It's not as simple as most of us make it out to be. And Sri Aurobindo has, in this book, done a great job of explicating the various solutions and the various failed solutions and showing a way towards an understanding of rebirth and karma that make absolute sense, both in the individual development and for the collective development. I highly recommend the book, and I want to thank you for your time today and participating in this brief discussion.